Victor Wembanyama's season-opening performance against the Dallas Mavericks wasn't just dominant, it was historic. After a lengthy layoff caused by a blood clot that ended his previous season prematurely, the 21-year-old French phenom returned and immediately reminded everyone why he's viewed as a generational player. In just 30 minutes of action, Wembanyama put up 40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, and committed 0 turnovers, leading the San Antonio Spurs to a 125-92 blowout victory over Dallas. His efficiency was staggering, shooting 15 for 21 from the field and 9 for 11 from the free throw line, while making plays that defied his 7'5" frame and left both teammates and opponents in disbelief. This wasn't just another good game, it was a defining moment that instantly changed the tone of the new NBA season. The matchup had all the ingredients for a competitive opening night. Dallas entered the game with one of the tallest and most defensively capable frontcourts in the league, anchored by Anthony Davis and Derek Lively. Both are respected interior defenders known for protecting the rim and controlling the glass. Yet Wembanyama dismantled them possession after possession, attacking with precision and patience, using his length to shoot over defenders, and punishing double teams with footwork that resembled a seasoned guard more than a traditional big man. Davis, a 10-time All-Star and future Hall of Famer, had no answers for the variety of moves Wembanyama unleashed: step-backs, spins, reverses, and high-arching jumpers that made defense feel useless. Lively, despite his size and athleticism, looked completely overwhelmed by Wembanyama's reach and timing. The Mavericks' rotations broke down early, and by halftime, it was clear they had no strategy that could slow him down. For context, no Spurs player had ever opened a season with such numbers. The franchise record for points in a season opener belonged to George Gervin, who scored 39 back in 1977. Wembanyama broke that record in his very first game of the year, while joining Tim Duncan as the only Spurs in history to record at least 30 points and 10 rebounds in a season opener. His performance also placed him among a rare group in NBA history, just the 4th player since 1978 to produce a 40-point, 15-rebound game with no turnovers. Even more impressive, he did it all in just 30 minutes of play. The last time anyone posted a line remotely similar, it came from prime legends who dominated the league in their eras. For a 21-year-old to do it coming off a medical setback speaks volumes about his growth, discipline, and mindset. Wembanyama's return came after a summer spent focusing on recovery and self-improvement. The blood clot scare was serious, forcing him to confront what it might mean to lose basketball or even risk long-term health issues. That experience seems to have reshaped his approach to the game. He described himself as calmer, more centered, and more appreciative of the opportunity to play. His words after the game reflected maturity beyond his age. He said he was much more in control and understood the importance of patience and perspective. Doctors had officially cleared him before the season began, but what no one could have predicted was how much better he would look compared to last year. Physically stronger, mentally sharper, and tactically smarter, Wembanyama now plays like a superstar who fully understands how to maximize his body and skills. On the court, his movements were calculated and deliberate. There was no wasted motion. Every dribble, cut, and shot attempt had purpose. He showed remarkable control when handling the ball, something that used to be a weakness early in his career. Now, his handle allows him to create separation even against elite defenders. He displayed a range of offensive tools rarely seen in a player his size: reverse dunks in transition, step-back threes, mid-range jumpers off the dribble, and smooth drives from the perimeter. His 7'5" height gives him a reach advantage over nearly every player in the league, yet what makes him truly unstoppable is his coordination and timing. On defense, he continues to be a nightmare for opponents, using his wingspan to alter shots and close gaps in ways that break offenses completely. Against Dallas, he blocked multiple shots at the rim and forced others to miss just by being in position. Every possession around him felt claustrophobic for the Mavericks. The game's turning point came during the third quarter. After a strong first half where the Spurs built a 9-point lead, Wembanyama and rookie guard Stephon Castle blew the game open. Castle, who was filling in for injured point guard De'Aaron Fox, ran the floor with poise, finishing the night with 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. The chemistry between him and Wembanyama looked like something that had been developed over years, not months. Castle and Wembanyama either scored or assisted on 42 of the team's 60 first-half points, setting the tone early. Their pick-and-roll execution was sharp, their transition game efficient, and their communication effortless. Castle even noted after the game that they'd been watching film together all summer, studying how to read double teams and locate passing angles. That preparation paid off immediately, as their combination tore through the Mavericks' defense. In the third quarter, Wembanyama hit a series of back-breaking plays that sealed Dallas's fate. He blocked Derek Lively at the rim, recovered the ball, and seconds later hit a step-back 3 over him while drawing a foul for a 4-point play. The crowd erupted, and the Mavericks never recovered. That single sequence encapsulated everything about his game: defensive dominance immediately translating into offensive brilliance. He later scored through double teams, spun out of traps, and even executed a crossover into a jumper that had Anthony Davis shaking his head in disbelief. It wasn't just that he was making shots, it was how he was making them. Like a player who's now fully aware that no one can really stop him. The Spurs supporting cast also deserves credit. Beyond Castle, rookie Dylan Harper made a strong debut off the bench, adding 15 points and bringing energy that sparked key runs. His quickness and instincts fit perfectly with the team's pace. Even without Fox, who missed the game due to injury, San Antonio looked organized, confident, and deep. Coach Mitch Johnson's system, emphasizing ball movement and spacing around Wembanyama, worked perfectly. During a timeout late in the fourth quarter, Johnson told the team to embrace the mundane, reminding them to keep focusing on fundamentals despite the lopsided score. That message, discipline and structure around a transcendent talent, is the core of what this Spurs team is building. Inside the Spurs locker room, the mood after the game reflected awe. Keldon Johnson walked in asking teammates if anyone had ever seen something like that before. The laughter and disbelief said it all. Even veteran players seemed aware that what they'd witnessed wasn't just another great game. It was a glimpse into something historic. Wembanyama, though, didn't seem overly excited. His post-game comments were grounded and focused. He said the team wanted to make a statement and that everyone was tired of losing. That attitude, combined with his performance, suggests a leader who's not satisfied with personal milestones, but is committed to winning and setting a new standard for the franchise. This wasn't the same Spurs team that had been rebuilding over the past few years. They looked cohesive and balanced, with clear roles and chemistry. Wembanyama's presence elevates everyone around him. His gravity on offense forces defenses to collapse, opening lanes and shots for teammates. His defensive coverage lets others play more aggressively on the perimeter, knowing he's behind them as a safety net. The impact goes beyond numbers. It's structural. When he's on the floor, the Spurs look like a completely different team, one capable of competing with any contender in the league. Historically, Wembanyama's debut performance now ranks among the most efficient in modern NBA history. Few players have ever started a season this dominant. To score 40 points with 0 turnovers while controlling both ends of the floor is nearly unheard of. The combination of scoring, rebounding, and defensive presence mirrors prime-level production from all-time greats like Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Anthony Davis, but at a younger age. His ability to process the game, make quick reads, and react instinctively separates him from other tall players who struggled with coordination or decision-making. Wembanyama doesn't just use his size, he weaponizes it with skill and intelligence. This performance also re-established San Antonio as a relevant franchise in the Western Conference. After missing the playoffs for 6 straight years, the Spurs now have a legitimate foundation to build around. If Fox returns healthy, Castle continues his rapid development, and Harper adapts quickly to the NBA pace. This team could challenge for a postseason spot as early as this year. Wembanyama's dominance makes it possible to dream again in San Antonio. The culture that once revolved around Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili seems reborn, only now it's built around a new type of superstar, one capable of redefining what basketball looks like in the modern era. What stood out most wasn't just the stats or highlights, but the maturity and composure with which Wembanyama handled everything. There was no showboating, no unnecessary celebrating. His confidence came through in calm gestures and quiet smiles, like someone who already expected greatness from himself. After one highlight dunk, he simply jogged back on defense, focused on the next possession. That demeanor is what separates transcendent players from those who flash briefly and fade. He already behaves like a veteran, understanding that consistency, not flash, defines legacy. On defense, he continues to do things that even elite defenders can't replicate. His timing allows him to contest shots late without fouling. Guards hesitate to drive when he's nearby, knowing even a step past their defender might not guarantee safety from his reach. He alters passing angles, shuts down lob attempts, and rotates across the lane faster than any 7-footer in the league. Against Dallas, several possessions ended with Mavericks players simply resetting their offense rather than attacking him directly. That level of deterrence doesn't show up fully in box scores, but completely changes the flow of games. For the league, his emergence represents a problem no one has solved yet. Double teams barely work, switching smaller defenders is useless. Playing zone leaves too many open lanes for teammates. He reads defensive schemes quickly and adjusts in real time. When he was asked after the game about his performance, his grin said everything. It was nice, wasn't it? That confidence wasn't arrogance. It was recognition of the work and patience that brought him back to this point. He knows he's special, and now everyone else does too. In the closing minutes, with the Spurs leading by nearly 30, Wembanyama still played with precision. No lazy possessions, no lapses in focus. His final bucket came from spinning out of a double team on the baseline and swishing a jumper, his 40th point of the night. As he checked out, the entire arena stood, aware they had just witnessed something special. The expression on his face remained calm, almost analytical, as if already thinking about the next challenge. That's the essence of Wembanyama's transformation. He's gone from a promising rookie to a force who controls games entirely. His dominance isn't loud, it's methodical, almost inevitable. If this is how he performs in the season opener, the ceiling for what's ahead might not even be definable. The Spurs, for the first time in years, have a player who makes them relevant on a global scale again, and for the rest of the NBA, it's becoming clear that no one might truly be ready for what's coming next.